Hello everyone, my name is Elias, and I am a failure. Allow me to explain why. Growing up, I knew I was different, but I didn't want to be. I knew I was failing early on, but I didn't know at what. Later on, I would know that it was failing to meet the standard of what it meant to be a man, of what it meant to be straight. I wasn't like the kids at my school. I wasn't interested in sports. I would much rather catch ladybugs. And then I would go home and I wasn't much like my brothers, very machismo men. So I constantly felt like I was failing. Recently, I discovered that failing isn't bad, and that I now choose to fail in my own way. I want to introduce you guys to this concept called queer failure. Now, Jack Halberstam created this book called The Art of Queer Failure. In this book, Halberstam writes that when you are gay, this world is not designed for you. It's designed for straight people. So you will always fail. And rather than resisting failure and trying to assimilate, we can embrace that failure. We can own how we choose to fail and thus be free in said failure. Now, myself, I'm bisexual. I am applying this concept to my lived experience, and in my lived experience, being bisexual means you are a double failure. Some may say a failure times 2. Because you are constantly failing at being straight while also failing at being gay. You're in this borderland where all you know is failure. And because I am a man, I will always be too gay, tainted by bisexuality. You know, one of the things I was thinking about would be a good story, a good antidote for this, would be something as simple as painting your nails. Now, I want to attract women because I think they're beautiful, but I also want to attract men. And so I do something as simple as painting my nails in order to cue them in. But then, once my nails are painted, I worry that women won't like it. That they'll think of me as another, as a failure. So, regardless, I'm worrying about pleasing one while pleasing the other, while knowing that I'm going to fail both. And it's interesting because knowing that I'm going to fail both means that no matter what space I walk in, I will always feel like I don't belong, like no one likes me, like I'm not enough for them. That people won't be attracted to me because of what I'm wearing or what I'm doing, that I will be seen as a failure in their eyes. And this can create an inferiority complex. Failure breeds inferiority. Things you do will set you apart, and you won't be invited into hetero spaces because you'll be too gay. You won't be invited into homosexual spaces because you'll be too straight. You'll have imposter syndrome everywhere you go. Now, this may feel like you're constantly having to perform. Yeah, I did, in fact, choose this photo. I thought it was very reflective of what a performance would be. Because regardless, you're performing for straight people and you're performing for gay people. And it gets to the point where you start to ask yourself, what is real? And it wasn't until I watched a show called What is Real? I messed up, but it's okay. We're going to keep going. And it wasn't until I watched a show called Pose, and it was in the second episode, that I asked the second episode, where the characters Angel and Stan are sitting down, and Stan reveals that his world that he's created isn't real. That despite being a transgender woman, she will always be more real than he is. And I realized in this that being real means being yourself. It means realizing that when you're trying to be something you're not, and you're failing at it, you might as well succeed at being who you truly are. Because the truth is, do you want to fail the world or do you want to fail yourself? We have to ask ourselves this question because it will determine how we choose to behave and exist in this world. The sad truth is that we must also ask, why do we fail in society's eyes when we are succeeding at being something as simple as ourselves? It's a really good question. But I pose to you an alternative. That maybe there's nothing wrong with you. That maybe it is just difficult to be who you truly are and exist within a society that was not designed to support people like you, people like me, people who are queer. That maybe society is the one that has failed us. You know, we have to rethink our definition of success. We have to look at these institutions, at these societal expectations, and we have to ask, why are we failing? Maybe the definition of success isn't reality, but is a standard that is created by society. And it houses us to question this. We have to question this. And I give to you a good example. Society tells us that we need money in order to be successful, right? That to have money means that you are successful. To have Grammys, to have Oscars, to have promotions, that means to be successful. Now I ask you another question. What if I'm happy, but I don't make a lot of money, but I don't have the highest position? What if I'm happy? Am I still truly failing in this world? And it also makes you realize that the margin for success is so limited and constraining. And that failure is refusal, is dissent. That failure, that failure is a refusal to conform to these broken societal systems. And I urge every queer individual to reject normative and heteronormative definitions of success. And for my fellow bisexuals, non-binaries, trans individuals, I urge you to reject not only heteronormative definitions of success, but queer and LGBT, gay theories of success as well. To find your own place, to understand the value in your failure, and to understand that to fail is not necessarily a bad thing. And so I leave this with you, thinking about failure and understanding my place in society and how I will always be seen but nothing but a failure. I fail the way I choose. I find freedom in my failure to be whoever I want to be. And reflecting upon not only my generation, but the generation of queers before me, I realized that they failed so hard and they were so loud in their failure that my failure and my generation's failure will be seen as less of a failure. And it made me realize that my generation will fail in order for the next generation of queers to succeed. Thank you very much.